Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel Durbridge. I am an author or writer of my book of alien perceptions of possible truth. It's been a while since I've posted a posting, video or recording of my awareness and stories and ideas about my book on this book channel. I also might post this on a new channel that I have that is for why I left the church I was a part of. I've decided, and I promised that I would do this, to post my experience fully by doing a video recording, as you can tell, of my whole book on YouTube. So I am basically going to be posting this to my YouTube channel, and I have a ton of information I'm going to put through. And what's really awesome about this is I'm going to go through chapter by chapter. So I'm going to be doing over between 13 to maybe 15 to 16 recordings, possibly at the most 20, but it's probably going to be within 13 or 14. I'm actually going to go into talking about what my book actually says and what it is all about. And I decided to do it this way because it's important. And I mentioned I would do that. And I have different ideas and feelings now since I left a church that I was part of. But if you want to know any information about that, for those that are considered ex-Mormons or thinking about the church, the Mormon church, or what some people want to call the Church of Jesus Christ, but it's really the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is, they really aren't following an unconditional belief in a Christ. They're believing in conditional teachings of Christ, and they are actually not even aware of what they're contradicting and causing others in, even if they're doing it in the right kind of way and they feel that it's about peace. They need to go to quitmormon.com and look at the information there. There are many people that have been abused by certain gang stalker programs that go against target individuals. And so I'm giving a brief recording intro here about what I'm about to talk about. I'm going to read my book that I wrote, and I'm going to do different recordings because this book and information that I'm reading from is actually 241 pages, but I used to have, and I still kind of do somewhere, I used to have information on where I got a lot of the information I'm explaining from. A lot of them were from information from other resources on YouTube and public record, and talking to individuals who worked in really prestigious roles and education, more than just doctorate in one field. They have multiple PhDs in many fields. And a lot of these I also got from those that are also popular individuals. Anyway, so I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to read it. And so my book of alien perceptions of possible truths, my motivational journal explaining extraterrestrial alien perceptions, time travel, dimensions, brain science, and the law of attraction. And then Samuel Durbridge. And on the side of the book it says my Book of Alien Perception of Possible Truths. Samuel Durbridge, as a cursive form. On the back of it has a picture of me back then, and I was wearing my purple shirt that I had, my buttoned up one, and I felt that it was the right kind of atmosphere I needed to wear for a picture for my book. And then, as you can see behind it, back then I was still part of the church in some form. I still had faith in it because of blessings or experiences I had that gave me answers to prayers, but I could tell that there was something wrong about it all. There was something holding me back, and people holding me back, and programs that may have been the ones helping me get the blessings, but then when the blessings came, they tried to suppress some of it through certain programs or tech or different agreements that were made. Or maybe it was certain people that helped me, and then others let it happen, and then they tried to stop any future help for me and others, which is wrong, and they shouldn't be doing that for anybody. They shouldn't be stopping help or healing for anyone. We need to truly give the true answers, but because they withheld the true answers, and they allowed certain things to happen, it helped me realize things that were not allowed to happen, to help me get to where I am now. So I am grateful for that. So on the back of the book, I have information on it, but the first of the book, it has the desired sunroom that will be part of the house that I see myself obtaining or already having. I think of it as already done. I follow Greg Braden information and energy science ideas now, and thoughts and feelings of my heart. I also listen to certain recordings of certain things that help boost my high vibrational healings and all sorts of things. I also now have a support email where people can go to and email me at durbidgesamuel@gmail.com and talk to me and get a hold of me and call me. I'm going to give out this phone number, but I block calls for this phone number. And I block calls because the calls that I block have to deal with certain purposes. And so, yeah, I block these calls unless I know the number calling me due to scammers and other people that will try to do that to people. But a lot of them are also connected to the gang stalker programs. And I've noticed that a lot of them are Mormons or connected to the programs that certain Mormons are part of that certain people don't know are connected to being a Mormon or being part of the religions that are connected to those same programs that they've all agreed upon, where they've altered scriptures and they've hidden certain things. And it was done by that in the Crusades and before that. But many ancient texts warned about that future happening, and Greg Braden and others found that information and let it be known. But they also confirmed that it can be done by going to non-medicine hospitals and places, and Deepak Chopra and others showing the science of healing and happiness of serotonin levels and healing for people all around, just by meditating and thinking good thoughts and non-judgment. And then you can bless things into being. And they've noticed this, and most churches even talk about the group prayer and praying in a huge group of people praying at once with a focus of belief with people will make it happen. They want you to doubt your prayers and think that you're unworthy when everybody is worthy of it. It's just you need to take responsibility for your choices of feelings and choices to do what you do and not feel guilty of it, because it wasn't anything you did to cause harm. Unless you really did mean to cause harm, then that's on you. But if you feel guilty of it, then why are you even choosing to do it? Why are you choosing to even do the evil or feel tempted to do it? Just be you and don't worry about being you, and then the stress of doing those things will go away. But the biggest thing to do is to get out of the church, because it's those programs connected that make you feel guilty and make you feel controlled, that control your feelings and your emotions, that lock your heart and your mind to be unclear, because they use those frequencies to make you unclear because of agreements of you having your records and ordinances such as baptism and covenants and temples and other things within whatever religion that you're connected to that agree to CIA, FBI, MK Ultra type of programmings and other secret agency programs. Yes, the church is a part of it. There's been many accounts that I witnessed personally and that others have talked about they've seen in the mountains of Utah, and I had dreams and experiences. We all are being warned by people within these government systems and higher forms of being, possibly. But someone's been warning me and others. And whoever those people are or beings are, I appreciate them. Because even if some of them are doing jerk things to us, some of them do the jerk things so that they can stay under the radar and then help us secretly in other ways so that they don't get caught helping us. So there are good people within these programs, but they do it to those that they know would benefit letting people know to stop it, because it's abusive. They're doing it to children. They're doing it to all forms of people and beings alike. But our thoughts and our feelings create reality, and we can focus and talk to creatures and animals and everything, and they're trying to hide that understanding. GMO foods, a genetically modified organism, which is also genetic mechanics, it's all there. It's all telling you what they are. It's nanotech, it's other situations that are even deeper that I can go into personally and talk to you personally on, because some of the things that I mentioned is within certain patents that can be confirmed. It's all public record. Military confirmed to me what's going on. If you look at the 1995 Illuminati card game, it even shows pictures of things that have already started to happen in the last couple of years. It actually shows it in there, what is going to happen and what they're actually doing and allowing within the Zionist or secret government program. So there is a lot going on. And I'm not saying that there aren't good programs within government society. Some of them, there are good people and good leaders within. We want those leaders to take over so that they can help us, not harm us. But what's happening is we all can heal and create reality, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. And that should be freely allowed. And it is once you realize it, but they're trying to get you and others to focus on things rather than that, and to make you hate or be upset or frustrated or think that certain things aren't following what you want. It doesn't matter. You're awesome, okay? You don't need to feel down or be put down or feel that others are putting you down. Just know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and you're okay. So here we go. So I talked about the front of my book. It just has the really beautiful picture of a sunroom, and that's just with an open doorway to knowledge and information to help to heal. My book of Alien Perceptions of Possible Truths, my motivational journal explaining extraterrestrial alien perceptions, time travel, dimensions, brain science, and the law of attraction. I'm also going to talk about energy, water science, and other sports program science and other stuff within this book. I'm going to also bring up information on what I believed then and what I believe now. When I realized what I was dealing with, I wasn't fully as genuine. I'm also going to try to correct as many mistake spellings within the book as I read it. But I can't guarantee that I'll be able to correct all the misspellings, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best at correcting them. So here we go. So first off, I want you all to understand that there is a lot of information going on. And so let me tell you. So the front of the book has that, and then it has information there about what the book is that I just mentioned. Also, it is on my vision board or vision poster or vision picture, and I kind of need to update the one I have just because it has things in there that I still don't really agree with, but I still keep it there based off of the connections that I know is and the idea of what I would want. But I think I'm going to be changing it to something else, but I don't know what I'd change it to. Anyway, so here we go. But it still represents something that I would like, similar to what I was part of in the religion I was part of, but I don't agree with that religion. But I'm not telling you or others what to believe or what not to. It's up to you to decide for yourself. If you want to know why I left, the biggest reason was in December 2019, I finally made the decision to pull my records by going to quitmormon.com and following those information. It said things that were happening to me, and I noticed that year in the last couple of months. And then I was seeing that other people dealt with it, and I finally became authentic. And I'm going to talk about being authentic and being your true self. So here we go. So the back of the book, it has a beautiful stars and clouds at the bottom, and then a picture of me on the left, and then the barcode information. Anyway, so here we go. You're not alone. I believe in you. And my open heart, I would say, but it says my open mind and whole heart are there for you. This book is a motivational book, and it is both scientific and spiritual. It contains my perception and interpretations of the law of attraction, spiritual thought, as well as major scientific studies from my research and the experiences I went through these last few years. So I found research and information on this. I also did my own research based off of those researches that I got drawn to through praying and being told to share it and let people know. So I'm doing this based off of a religious belief at the time, and I still hold to that to some degree. I just knew that that was what my inner self or mind felt needed to be done, and now I just say, do you know what? I did what I felt needed to be done, but I'm more authentic and genuine now. So then the next paragraph says, this book is not about putting anyone down, but about building people up. It's about standing up for those who are ignored and secretly shunned. I and many others care unconditionally with every energy of our being. This book shares the spiritual belief system we follow. Now, before I go on to the next paragraph on the back of this book, I wanted to mention, with family, friends, and others, I really do actually care for them. Even if we got after each other or swore, even if I feel hurt by what they've done in the past, I tell them honestly and openly, and I would want to talk about it thoroughly with them in a safe manner that I feel safe in. And them feeling like they're unsafe with me is inappropriate because they're stronger and have more physical strength than I do, and they're taller than me. My brothers and family saying that they're afraid of me because of me talking to them, or they're concerned trying to make me be looked at as someone that might harm them or hurt them. I would never do that. I don't believe in that. And they feel afraid or victimized by me, but they say that I'm a victim and I want to be a victim. It's not about being a victim. It's about doing the right thing. Of course I felt victimized because I was a victim. I was affected. And them ignoring that it hurt me and that it affected me, and them choosing not to say I'm sorry for it or acknowledging it, is sad. But they expect me to do that for them, which I have done my best to, but they want me to do it in the conditions of their choosing, rather than in the conditions of what I know I felt occurred and why, so that we can talk it through. I want to hug them and be there for them and do that, but they don't. Many of them have chosen not to be huggers and not to be that way, but they act like they are when they're around family, and they act like they love you when they're around family, and they want to act like they're friendly or that they love when you're with family, to not show contention and put off a fake facade, and it's very inappropriate. Also, I've been called out by my brother, saying that another brother said that I said something about a dream that I had about him on one of my postings or videos, possibly. I don't remember if I put one up or not, but I do know I put stuff on Facebook and others. Whatever that dream was, I've had several about my family because of the lack of love that I've felt when I've tried reaching out to them. And the busyness has nothing to do with it. They could reach out to me on a Sunday or other times when they don't work, or when they have time, or when they're free, and see if I'm doing okay. If they have time to go to family parties, we could go and talk in a room and be safe with the door open, talking about it and explaining it. But they don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to talk about it. Plus, I don't really feel safe because I've been ganged up on by my family and abused and belittled, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of ex-Mormons and others that I've reached out to on support systems that have confirmed the same issues happening to them by their parents. They even have proof of text and messages from families and bishops and people doing the abuse right there, front and personal, saying it. There are other people you bring it up to, and there are people on the support system that I noticed ignored what was being said or being done or being talked about to me. And I saw that some of them are gang stalker program people on the site, abusing me and abusing others. So I have seen the lack of support on support sites as well. There is a gang stalker program, and they help and work within both communities. The ex-Mormon community, they attack sometimes, and sometimes they help you. And then they also do other stuff. So there is abuse going on, and there is things happening, and there is lack of support and lack of understanding and caring with certain things being mentioned or told. There is this huge abuse and trickery, and some ex-Mormons or some individuals notice the belittling and notice the trickery that gets done and is done to them and others. So I've noticed it, others have noticed it, and it really bothers them because they start seeing it more. And those that defend or are there for them, they try to say, oh, Satan's in your life, or you have a dark spirit, when you don't, and you're talking against abuse and doing the right thing and letting it be known. That's not darkness. That's about standing up for what's right and legal and doing what requires to do the right thing. And then they do illegal, agreed action that comes across as unethical, but legal, that should be illegal because of the abuse that's happening. Now, I do want to mention that I do know that there are certain individuals and certain feelings within me where people are listening and hearing me, and they're like saying or responding and saying, yeah, right? You understand that? I do know that there are people and beings that hear me and are listening, and they respond and spy, but they are doing it to protect, or they're doing it to help, or some of them do it because they're required to by law to do it, but it's still all wrong for them to do this kind of abuse. But they think they're doing it for a greater good or for a purpose that they have no choice to do. So all the good that's being done, I appreciate. And I just want that mentioned. And they say things like, yeah, that's right, that is happening. And it's like an inner voice or an inner feeling, but I've acknowledged and noticed and stumbled upon these things, and I'm not the only one that's noticed this and felt this way. And it's pretty impressive because it's really subtle and very simple. So here we go. I'm going to bring up this other part. So here's the next paragraph on the back of the book. This book also contains scientific knowledge of thought and research. These studies promote the life that you have been hoping and praying for. I believe in your happiness and the feelings you have for your ultimate dream life. This book is about doing good to all no matter what is done to us. It's about coming together as a people and as all beings should, and to be aware of the idea of what I feel is a good way, if not one of the best ways to do so. Now, again, back then I was still part of the church and I had a belief of some form of church, but I could tell that there was some conditional teaching. And I learned what was happening within that system and within that teaching of that life. It was very abusive, it was very wrong, and it was very inappropriate to me and others. I and others that were in the church thought we were doing the right thing. We had spiritual experiences. We would go to the temple, get answers to prayers, or feel as though they were. And basically, we were just manifesting our belief. And then when we told the bishop and did what we felt our pastoral blessing told us to do, higher forms or higher beings at the time allowed this control system. And I want people to understand that I know that there are many beings out there that are good beings. Yes, there might be beings that choose to do bad or neutral things, but it's the good ones that you should hold to and do the right thing, and to keep asking and hoping that all beings do the right thing, because eventually it's going to affect them if they don't, regardless what realm or what ascension level they may be. And I'll go into that later. So, I also say breathe and relax if you can, and do what you can to relax and care about others. So here we go. Again, it's a book that motivates and shares information that others either fear to share or choose not to. So here we go. This book is about doing good to all, no matter what is doing to us. Well, that's where I should have started. So we're on that paragraph. It's about coming together as a people and as all beings should, and to be aware of the idea of what I feel is a good way, if not one of the best ways to do so. So there, I repeated that and I apologize, but I'm going to go into this next part. Again, it's a book that motivates and shares information that others either fear to share or choose not to. I felt I needed to share this information to help those that may not know they need this insight. Those who go unheard or are concerned or scared can lift up their spirits and know I believe in them and their needs and feelings of good, even if others choose not to. Now, I'm sharing this freely, so this recording is just going to be, as long as I've chosen to be, maybe it will be 40 minutes, but I chose to put this out there so that you can understand what I'm about. This book brings up paranormal and conspiracy concepts and secret workings that might be due to experiences that I and others went through. This book is mostly for inspiration, along with some information that is based on finding solutions to handle weird and strange experiences. What I found out personally was amazingly interesting. Yet for some, it may come off as scary and fearsome. Do not fear, do not be afraid, be brave. Raise your hopes up in everything you love and enjoy in every moment of your whole being of life. So there's that. So basically, this information I'm sharing is so that you and others can do what's right, and so that all of us can be able to acknowledge and realize how important our life is and how important we should be there for others. So that's the back of the book. So again, I'm going to read the last paragraph after. So, or the last two paragraphs. This book brings up paranormal and conspiracy concepts. They're not really conspiracy because they're actually public record and legal record. And so it's actually real information that the government and others are declassifying now, confirming it. That's the Gateway program. and all the others, law of attraction, they're all confirming it now, and it's been confirmed since Freedom of Information Act. But the public news and others have tried to say that it was conspiracy, but when they realize, because of their belief system, but when you realize they're all being paid and controlled, and it's a controlled system in the media, and they only say what they're told to say. Some of them say some things that they're wanted to, and they get chastised when they do it, unless it goes along with what their boss or requirements wanted to make it more authentic or seem authentic. What's really cool, though, is when you look at the public record information and documentations, you start to realize information. So I have a friend that I consider a friend named Holy UFO. She's an amazing individual. She's a great mom from what I've seen, or a great parent. And I also appreciate another person that reached out to me in message. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't know if they would want me to, but I appreciate them, and I actually know that they're amazing individuals. And so here we go. So I'm going to bring this up. The book, like I said, brings up all those paranormal and other things, and alien and, extraterrestrial, dimensional beings. I'm going to bring up some more stuff that I've been witnessing and experiencing, and that now that my mind is more clearer and able to explain it even better and deeper. So basically, secret workings that might be due to experiences that I and others went through. Time travel is a big thing that I've noticed is been confirmed, and scientists have even came out in medical and expo science confirming that they've been able to change time and alter it in our reality. So they've already come out in tech and in media and said they can do this. So they publicly said it. They can do this. They have it. And it's in the government archives and in the military archives and information. And it's all public record. And it's now declassified more. And regardless how you define it and what wordings you try to do, UAP, UFO, whatever forms of those, there's more deeper than that. There's abduction programs and agreements that all churches agreed to, the Zionists, the Illuminati, the Masons, whatever you want to call it, Catholic, Vatican, even mosques, the Muslim mosques and their big city, all of them that have these big religions, they're all part of it. And I'll go in that in just a moment. So I'm going to read this last part, and then I'm going to read the golden rule is the only rule. But this book is mostly for inspiration, along with some information that is based on finding solutions to handle weird and strange experiences. What I found out personally was amazingly interesting, yet for some it may come off as scary and fearsome. Do not fear. Do not be afraid, be brave. Raise your hopes up in everything you love and enjoy, in every moment of your whole being of life. Here we go. So, today's date is January 30th, which is a Thursday, 2020, and it's 5:12 p.m. right now. Now, I just read my book, and so I tell you this again. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. Be brave. Raise your hopes up in everything you know, in everything you love. Enjoy in every moment of your whole being of life. And I'm going to add even a little bit more, because I did add a little bit to that paragraph. Have yourself a wonderful life. See yourself as things that are already done. Be aware that I'm about energy, science, and healing. I am a minister of the ULC.org. U is in umbrella, L is in Larry, C is in Charlie, organization. O-R-G. O is in Oscar, R is in Robert, G is in George. So that you can become a free minister, but then you have to pay for credentials and things. I also follow a new idea, which is I do follow the fact of being considered a Jedi Knight, because we all can heal and do things, and I've already been able to heal burns and things that I've had, so I do know I have a force power. I'm just growing that force power and becoming more of who I really am. And I can heal and help heal because I've already been able to heal me. So if I can heal me, what do you think I can do for you? I can heal you with you. You can heal you. But as a minister, I'm allowed to bless and heal you. By law, I'm allowed to do that if I believe I can do that. And I've been called by that. I did have an experience in 2017 where I was told to go and be there for other people from a higher form of self that came in the name of Jesus Christ for me, but said I'm them and they are me. And it was a being in a white robe, and it was a powerful being, but it was an unconditional form of Christ, not a conditional. I was told to forgive people within the belief system and other belief systems, that even atheists are fine. As anybody that cares about peace and love and is against abuse and chooses to go against abuse is okay. The ones that don't, basically, things were downloaded into my mind. I was told everything I think and feel and say has truth to it, and it is real, and I should speak it and tell it. So even my picture of blessing when I was in the Mormon church even tells me that I should speak and tell the things that I feel, think, and do. And that's what I've done. And I was told by the higher form that I saw that experience to keep doing that. But before that being taught to me, it hugged and balled with me and cared about me. So I wanted to let you be aware of that. So I'm just going to read the title information. And so the information in here, and when you open the book, I'm reading the hardbound. When you look at it, it says, My Book of Alien Perceptions of Possible Truths. My motivational journal, explaining extraterrestrial alien perception, time travel, dimensions, brain science, and the law of attraction. It's also water energy science, but that's brain science, connection, and belief, and energy science. It's all part of it. And the law of attraction confirms that too. But yeah, water science is in here too. Written by Samuel S. Durbidge from April 2017 to about March 2018. And what was really interesting is in 2017, of it was September 8th of 2017. That's when I had my amazing experience, and I was told what was really going on and what I should do. And I was told, you need to get this printed, you need to get this out there, you need to make this book. So I finished it, I got the book out, and March of 2018 I did that. Well, now we're in 2020, and I'm getting into almost the 2-year mark, and we're in January, and I figured I needed to mention this. Okay, so I'm going to read this copyright 2018 Samuel S. Durbidge, all rights reserved. The book contains material protected under international and federal copyright laws and treaties. Any unauthorized reprint or use of the material is prohibited. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronically or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system without express written permission from the author and publisher. And since I self-published it and I'm expressing it, I'm letting people know about it. The information within this book explains info that may not be suitable for children to read, or for those who may have a mind that can't handle things of the paranormal and extraterrestrial origin, as well as info that provides insight to the unseen world around us and beyond, such as time travel and all sorts of spiritual and scientific studies and worlds unknown that are now being told as known within. This world is comprised of many different research and personal events of the writer of this book, Samuel S. Durbridge, or Samuel Stephen Durbridge. So I have a hardback, a softcover, and ebook. I would love to do an audio book, but it costs money to do that, so I'm doing it this way, which is free and easy to do. And it also gives you more insight to this information. So for those that follow my channel and see this, here's your free information right here of the whole book. Now this will just be one video, and then another video will be next. So I'm just going to read the dedication and then the contents, and then note to reader. And then we'll do the other recording some other time. I'll probably do that tomorrow or when I feel like I need to. So the dedication. And I'm going to explain this dedication a little bit easier for those that wonder why I did it in this way. And I'm also going to mention who I support still and who I've decided not to fully support as much on here because of the way that I've been treated and the way I've been treated and put in a isolated situation and abuse. Now I do appreciate my parents, so they're the first ones I tell. I don't agree with their thoughts and feelings, but they are older, as they say, and they have been affected, but I still hope that they get out of that belief that they're older and do their best to do the right thing, but I also want them to be safe. So here's the thing, they're still part of the church that I left, and so are a lot of my brothers and sisters, and the ones that are not in the church, they try to not stay on one side or the other. They're trying to keep the peace with family, but the family has abused me, the younger brother, many times, and they feel neglected or hurt by me, and so that's why they think that they're justified for the abuses that they've done, which is still wrong. But a lot of the things that they still hold me to, the ones that left the church or were victimized by the church that chose to go back to it, they're controlled to a system of allowing the abuse to continue, thinking that it won't continue, but there's some horrible things going on. So that they are ignoring, or they've chosen to, because they're being affected by it and they're allowing it. And it's really sad to see how deep it goes, but I pray and think in a positive, good vibe type of way of focus of mind, thought, and feeling, and I'll go into that some other time. But Greg Braden, information, Bruce Lipton, Silicon Valley, energy science, non-medicine hospital, Beijing, China brings it up, or has been shown through Greg Braden. Deepak Chopra talks with him about that. Tibetan monks have brought it up, different forms, but they're all focusing it in different focuses of what they feel is the focus that they've learned, but not fully what should be known and done. I've noticed every religion, even Buddhist monk connections, they could do a lot more than what they've chosen to, but they're just following the path that they're comfortable with learning what they think they can do through their fears and concerns and protection that they've chosen to do or think they have to do. So here we go. So dedication to my mother and father who have been there for me and my brother and sisters that choose to listen to my feelings regardless if they choose to believe or not. Now, I dedicated it to my family because of the good times that they've helped me with, not the bad. I still let them be aware of what I know that they've affected and how I feel. And honestly, when I notice that they're not being authentic and genuine, I talk to them and let it be known. And I don't hide it, and I don't pretend. I don't do it to cause contention, even though they think that that's why I'm doing it, or they think that that's what is going on, as if I'm being controlled by a devil, when I'm actually doing what is right, standing up for what's right, and not saying false things. I'm bringing up information that is truly needing to be told, and not hiding it, not ignoring it, and not letting it not be known. I do what is right, and I stand by that. So here we go. To my friend, and this guy I really appreciated, and his name was Kenneth Nathan Rawson, but I knew him as Nate Rawson. He passed away a few years ago from a car accident. And I mentioned in there that I still wear the CTR ring he gave me long ago to remember his support as a friend and how he helped me realize miracles do happen in many different ways. But I really don't wear that anymore. I kept it as a respect for him, but I don't wear it anymore. The reason why I don't wear it anymore is because of what I felt the church was doing in the agreements, and I don't feel like promoting any form of their teachings. And this is a contradictory thing of wearing the CTR ring, and if I wore it, and people would automatically think or categorize me as LDS or part of the church and part of the Mormon church, but I'm not. I consider myself an ex-Mormon. Some people have brought up the idea of calling us Latter-day Saints, but that's just them being jerks and thinking that they're being smart when they're not. And some of them are serious because we don't follow it. But do you know what? You can still be a saint, and we're still considered in the latter days according to their belief system. So regardless, if you're being a saint in the latter days, you're still a latter-day saint. You're not an ain't. If you still believe that you're doing the right thing and you're being a saint as saints are, there are many saints that are in other religious belief systems. And I personally don't see myself considered as requiring to be a saint or not a saint. I just choose to do the right thing. So I see myself as a good being and a very powerful, loving, unconditional love as best to my abilities based on what my needs are being met or not. I do what I can with what's provided to me, and I do my best to focus on good vibrational thought processes, but I also let the truth be known so that people that can relate can be freed from the control. If you go to quitmormon.com, it confirms what they're causing and what they've agreed to. If you still want to be part of that church, then you need to stop those agreements. Those agreements are evil, and you're going against what you preach and teach. I have different belief systems and ideas about all information. I'm not saying the Book of Mormon is true or not true. I've seen some weird things within the scriptures that have been altered many times. I think the stories were coming from stories of mystical teachings, but told in stories as though there's certain people that were in the East Coast of America, which there's a lot of information that confirms that that's possible. But I also am aware of different timelines and different beliefs. So it's possible that every story and every book written has an origin story of connection where there is a reality or parallel reality where that story is true, and that those things did happen, but they happen for a different purpose than what is being taught, and they're hiding the true knowledge of healing and ability to heal. And they do that for a purpose that when we're ready, they'll come and explain the full reasons why it all happened. A lot of it is because of abuse and control and enslavement, and thinking that we aren't ready yet, or getting us to do it on our own so that we can then realize it. And it all had to happen so that we know why we shouldn't be doing the wrong and what happens when you do the wrong. It's all a teaching methodology, and that's possibly why they all think that way. But a lot of it is due to control programming. So here we go. So he gave me a long ago as a friend, and how he helped me realize miracles do happen in many different ways. I do respect his family of kindness that they've showed me and others at times. Any of them that are hiding information, whoever it is, please do the right thing. Be there for people unconditionally. And I do know that there is secrets going on that many of you may know and are part of. And I ask you to do what's right in any way that you can, deep within your unsubconscious mind, to stand up and heal yourself, and to wake up and do what's right. And you may not understand what I'm saying, but deep in your heart, your higher form does, and it hears it, and it loves me for saying it, because I do care. And I want my family and friends and others who know it deep inside of them to wake up too and do the same. So here we go. So to a girl I knew in junior high, who was the first girl I had a huge crush on. She died of leukemia, is what I remember being told. And I've had weird experiences where I even Googled her name once, at like a year or two after, and I happened to Google it on the same day that she died. And I didn't know that she died that day, years before. And so I've had weird experiences where I got drawn to it, where I felt that her name even was Shaylee Ann Adams, and I found out that my niece has the same first name and last name. And what's weird is when she died is probably the same time that my niece was born, or was going to be pregnant at around the same time. And I realize this correlation now. So part of me thinks that my niece could be a reincarnation of this girl who I had a crush on and cared about. And they say that in, like, little Buddha even talks about that when they're so close to each other, they try to reincarnate to be near each other, to be born into the family, so that you're part of, so that they can stay with you and be there with you still, to stay with their soul group connector, or those that they were close to, so that they can stay in the family like they were supposed to and destined to. So the leukemia and other stuff, I believe, was caused to her. People killed her off so that me and her wouldn't end up. And then she was born in this family to be close to me, but because she's a relative, there's no way I could be able to marry her. But we're all different lifetimes, so I do know that there's a lifetime that is meant to be for me that is coming back to me. And I don't know if it's going to be that Shaylee Adams girl or someone else particularly, but I know she's out there. I've seen her spirit, and I know that she's meant to be in my life. And so I don't know who it is or when I'll meet her. I do know that it's meant to happen, and so I hold to that. So anyway, she died of leukemia, and when I tried finding her in 8th grade, I found out she had died a year after her dad's death. So I dedicate this book to those who have lost friends and family to cancer and mental illness. There needs to be hope that those who have gone before us deserve for us to have more hope than what they were given. We do this for them so that we no longer have to live in fear of death or abuse or confusion of needs. Now, I need to let this be known. I heard that words are spells, so I try not to say the word live because it's evil, but forgive any of the information I've written in here that has bad vibrational language because it wasn't meant to come that way. So focus on everything I've said in good vibration, because everything I'm saying in this video now, everything I speak and read and correct is from the heart, so that we can heal any evil vibration that may have been there at the time. But I didn't put that there in an evil vibration anyway. Just know that I focus on life wording when I say let's follow life. Let's not just be in life. Let's heal and promote and focus on healing vibrations and power. I am that I am. Through the grace of I am's will, I am healed, provided abundance for myself and all. To my friends in college, especially my friend Courtney Toner Sago, her husband Paul, and her family, they have always been very kind and supportive. Now, some people don't understand why did I call out her name and some other people I didn't. They're an amazing family, and they are very healing, caring individuals. I care about them, their children, and I stand up for them. And anything that happens to anybody is on those who cause it to those people. So it's on you if you choose to harm anybody or me or whatever. I will not stand towards any kind of blackmail or abuse being told or done to me. Anything that I did while I was in the church that I've said or felt that was the right thing to do, I did it based on thinking that it was the right thing to do, and I was misled. And there are many within the church that are doing it on behalf of thinking they're doing the right thing, and yet they're illegally doing wrong things that they know are wrong. I have chosen to do what's right and stand up for what's right, and now I'm following the right path. So here we go. To my friend in college, especially my friend Courtney Toner Slagle, her husband Paul, and her family. They have always been very kind and supportive. To the life, and I'm going to say lives as well also, because it needs to be mentioned, of all those who suffered abductions and many confusion experiences that others can't relate to, or can relate to, or don't even know that they can relate to it, that are secretly being affected by it. Many of you may be affected by it and don't think that you are. Think that there's no way because you've never had alien abduction experiences. You may have, and you may have been brainwashed, and you may not think that you can be brainwashed, but I do know that dreams do come true, and actual dreams that you have at nighttime, I've seen come true in my life for whatever reason. I can see the future in my dreams. And I want to correct the future of those dreams so that we can have a better future. Someone is using my dreams to make reality. And we need to stop those individuals or whoever and correct my dreams so I can focus on the dreams of the reality that needs to be for a healthier life for all, not just for the few. And so I let it be known so we can correct this. So help me, anybody that can, any being that can. So here we go. Some of these people I still support, but some of them I don't. So I'm going to bring up who I did support and how I feel about some of them. Because I don't think all of them are really focusing on what we really can do, because they're part of the controlled systems and they may not even know that they are. Because if you're a religious individual or promoting an idea of a religion or God concept, you are in fact, if you're mentioning it, you're allowed to be infected by these programs. And you are part of the problem. And for me, I bring up the concepts of good healing and stay away from any religion that tries to disagree to those agreements. Nor do I comply to any of them. So I don't comply to it, nor are they supposed to be doing anything. I'm my own minister of my own belief of awareness. And now I follow energy science of healing and blessings for all, unconditionally. We're all supposed to be unconditionally able to heal. And we should be allowed to. So here we go. And I forgive all problems or irritations that happen. Yeah, so to the lives of all those who suffered abductions and many confusion experiences that others can't relate to, like I know I can to some degree. So here we go. To Tyler at the Secure Team 10 YouTube channel that I am a part of, a Patreon of. Never give up letting the world know what's out there. I actually appreciate Tyler because he's dealt with similar things I have. He's had back surgery like I have, I've noticed. I've seen a video of him talking about it. He's been targeted and messed with. I don't really agree with his choice to smoke, but that's kind of his choice, and he was probably abused in a manner that got him into smoking. And you know, that's fine. It is an addictive substance, so I don't understand it all, but I've had people around me that have smoked. Not my family, necessarily. One brother did it a long time ago, but he got out of that habit. And he does what he feels he needs to for him. But I do know my parents and family I haven't seen many of them do that, but I know neighbors and others that have, and I hope that they can get out of it. And if they don't, it's a very controlled substance, and they put a lot of stuff in it. But even your GMO foods are just as bad as doing drugs or drinking or anything that messes with your brain. If it's not organic, vegan, and non-GMO, and you don't grow it yourself, and you don't pray and think good thoughts over it, you're not going to fully be able to be protected by it. But by being a healing individual who focuses on peace, I think there are people within the systems that regardless what you eat or what you're eating, go as vegan organic as you can. I go for Garden Life brands and other things, but even then, eventually do your best to grow food or go for organic vegan type foods, because even plants and vegetables that are made have some horrible things to them. Mahatma Gandhi and Gandhi even mentioned to be a fruitarian because even vegetables and things, but now we have GMO, genetically modified organism fruits and vegetables, and we need to get away from those. Apricots are amazing. If you can eat a fresh apricot and chew on the pits, they say it's healthy for you to a degree. I do other things. I might do that eventually. I do know that there are many things that I've been told, and I still question them just because I want to find things that are organic. And I've noticed they try to hide the idea of apricots, but I've been told even chewing on the pits for apricots that are GMOs, they can't fully go to the pit seed, and then eating the seed inside helps, or the thing within the seed helps heal. But it's up to you. I would grow a whole bunch of those before doing that, but it is very healthy, and it's very amazing. I'm just letting you be aware that organic vegan forms is better because of what I've learned in the patents There's stuff that they mention in there that is horrible. I didn't know that when I wrote my book. I might have mentioned it in the book, and we'll find out in some other recordings here. But I just wanted to read this part out before I start reading the introductions and the chapters. So here we go. So the other part of the dedication is to those who want freedom and spread the needs to help provide proper vitamins and health these supplements due to the water and other issues happening from those things that InfoWars and Theta Wellness and others have mentioned at one time. I don't really follow them as much because they put a lot of negative ideas, but a lot of their information did inform me to awareness. But then I found even deeper awareness in what they even bring up. And I've learned to focus on what really matters. They're a very political platform. I'm not really part of any political form of platform anymore. I still would support them to a degree, but I don't really feel like they supported me, even though I've supported them in the past. I do think that they're doing what they can to stay safe in what they think is safe, but by ignoring my stories and others who are generally authentic now, I think would be a bad idea. So I hope they reach out to me, and I hope others, because I actually really do care, but I don't want them to focus or think negative thoughts. I bringing up information as a minister, and as a minister, I should have rights by law and legal to do so. And I do this, and I speak as a minister of my own choice of energy studies and awareness, and being told by a higher self to tell people this, and by a higher self that came in the form and name of Jesus, who looked and felt as Jesus would have, and healed me like Jesus even said in the scriptures, if anybody comes in my name and heals in my name, they are of me. And he said that to his apostles when they said they got after someone for healing in his name. So even if it wasn't Jesus, it was Jesus that came in the way of healing and unconditional love of healing, and told me to love and forgive, and that all people are okay, and the even atheists will be fine. If they care about peace and love, everybody is fine. So I'm not necessarily religious or non-religious, but I was told to say whatever I need to say to help people from what I've witnessed. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I minister in. And I can help Mary or be there and do energy healing ideas. And you can read it out to me at durbidssamuel@gmail.com. And you can call me. My phone number is 801-499-4494. But I block all phone numbers that come in if I don't know what the phone number is. So emailing me, I also keep all information, and I record all calls, and I hold on to all emails and print out information if I feel threatened or needed to do it. I have put ads on Craigslist. I put ads on other stuff to have people reach out to me or try to be there for me. And I've done everything I can so that I could do what was necessary for my feelings. So here we go. Yeah, so just Theta Wellness. So basically, and Theta Wellness has, and also functional medicine like Dr. Mark Hyman. I do have a book of his, and I have videos and information of his as well, or I did. I was going to give them to my mother or family, but every time I give them anything, they don't really do anything for it. So I just hold on to it. They all have products to do their best at helping combat those needs, and I appreciate them for those needs that helped me. I also heard from a nutritionist at Natural Grocers who had the husband had a husband or has a husband in the military, and she was an amazing woman, and she knew exactly what's going on. The agreement that the church agreed to is why I left the church, because I do not comply to those agreements of abuse. And all churches have agreed upon that. Yes, even the Vatican, even the Muslim religion, all of them agreed to those teachings. But I'm going to read something that they all talk about and are hinting to that actually confirm what we all can do. But I don't agree with the way that this person said we can do it in. It's not just a one-on-one basis. We can come in a 3 to 4 people basis and do healing energy science with each other freely without paying for it. And you can do that with me freely, calling me, and we can figure a way to do that. I'm all about letting things be known for free. But I do appreciate for those that choose to buy my book or purchase it. That's up to you. I try to keep it as cheap as I can. The more funds that come in for me, the more I can pay off any debts that I have. But I believe that I'm manifesting things more and more based off of new techniques I've been doing recently. And I felt from my heart, and I kept putting it off, that I needed to read this and put this out there for all of you. So here we go. To all who would desire hope. Oh yeah, so Seed of Wellness, also Functional Medicine, Dr. Mark Hyman, they all have products to do their best at helping combat those needs, and I appreciate them for those needs that helped me. I know I'm repeating that, but I really do appreciate them. I appreciate others that are secretly helping me too, that are actually helping me unconditionally and know that I feel that it's helping me and not harming me. If you're trying to help me by causing harm to me, stop, please, and heal. Don't harm, because it'll come back at you. And if you're trying to get me in other ways, we need to stop doing that and start manifesting. We can manifest things now. We don't need to be informed in other ways. We need to heal, and that is the best way we can do. That's what I call upon. So to all who desire hope and desire their dream life, or your desired vision goal life, it's not a dream. It's real. It's reality to you. So there you go. No matter what race, religion, or species we all matter, or what being that we may all be, we all matter to be there for each other, always to support and have belief instead of believe. I'm going to say, and belief in one another's individual desires of dreams and goals and hopes and creation. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. Now. Waza, waza, waza. And then the other thing that Greg Braden mentioned that they said, which is now. Dreams so desire, it's already happened. It's already done. To the good of all creation. Now. Create it. Bless it. You can bless everything into being. To my cousin, and I did call him out, Lance Still. I actually don't really hate or dislike him much, but I do know that he's been hiding things. I've noticed it. He's really good at it, but I can see right through his facade. He talks against facades, but he puts up a facade himself, and I've seen that happen. But he tries to be nice, to be there, and he has been genuine when he felt that he was being fully genuine, but he was hoping he would get something out of it. And I do want him to be helped, and when my desired life happens, he's one of the people that I do plan on helping. And so for others, and I don't think he knows this, but I really have kept a hold of what I know I'm going to do for others, and I do plan on doing that. And I do appreciate the good that he's done for me, and I understand why he made it conditional in the ways that he did. But he's one of the ones that taught me to think with my mind and thoughts and feelings, and to look at things in a psychology type way. But I do it with a full authentic heart now, and he is hiding things, and he thinks it's okay to do certain things I don't agree with. But I don't want to talk against his choice for choosing to do what I know is wrong and controlled. But he has a huge opinion against that idea. Does not like vegans. He's against anybody that goes for organic vegan or brings up the idea that meat has things in it that is horrible. And some meat, this synthetic meat, is even worse. And they even confirm that they have human organism in it in articles, and he didn't like, and he got upset at me for posting about that article and mentioned it. But they're really good in the church to justify the actions of what's being represented. But it's just they miss the subtlety of why it's being presented and being brought up by me and others. But I don't think they miss it. I think they're just trying to defend what they're told to defend, or they're concerned. But it's also because he's part of the program system that he'd agreed to. So I don't blame him. I love him and I appreciate him. I think he could be one of those that helped me wake up to the realization of the trickeries. And that's why I got out. Even if he seemed to be supporting them, but not supporting them at the same time. It's just strange the way he did it. But he's just doing it to cover his own butt with agreements that he chose to do. And I respect that for him, because he's just trying to be respectful of the agreements he made, even if he doesn't acknowledge that he made those agreements. But it's funny, they come around and they're like, oh, I never said that, or I never did that. And so I record every call and everything I do now. And that's why they don't talk to me anymore, because they're afraid I'll use it against them. And so they won't talk or bring it up or say it. And I'm glad, because I want them to be safe if they're unable to. But I do that for my protection because of the past abuse by them and others allowing it. But I'm glad they did what they did so that I could protect myself and learn how to. So I do thank them for that, even if they did it unintentionally, with many of them did it both intentionally and unintentionally. So I do forgive them, or have love for them, and they're just, they're awesome. So to those who lost their lives or life in the pursuit of peace, of happiness for all of us, such as armed forces and even missionaries and emissaries of peace like Gandhi, Buddha, Christ, and even Martin Luther King Jr., we all need to be there for everyone, because if we don't, who will? Now, these next people I'm going to bring up, I do appreciate the good info that they brought. I don't agree with all the agreed programs that they've agreed to as actors that they are hiding. But I do love that they've spoken out and told stuff. But they made agreements to certain things, and so they're just covering their butts on some of the things that they do, and they've agreed to certain programs where I don't agree with it fully, but I also recognize why they're doing it. There's some really tricky systems going on, and I don't follow those tricky systems. I personally won't vote necessarily in those secretive, evil systems of ideas, but if I do, it's because I felt I needed to from the heart. But I don't really feel like I want to vote at all, because I want someone that gets in, that believes in energy science. So I focus on healing and not worry about what's really being done. There's a lot going on. But here we go. So to Oprah and Steve Harvey, who at the time I believed are great motivational advocates of being there for others, and they rock. And they did rock in a lot of the things that I've seen them post about stuff, and that went viral when they were off air. Some people did videos and it got viral about motivating to jump and to do good and to follow law of attraction ideas, giving away cars and being chastised for it, and all sorts of stuff. Like, honestly, they're amazing people for choosing to even do that. I appreciate them for doing that. Now, churches do stuff like that all the time, but a lot of them do it to get rapport, get people to focus and watch their show to get more ratings, or to get people to focus and follow them. I think they did it for both that and to help. But I don't know. I wasn't part of the ones they gave it to, so I don't know if I can really speak on why, or whether it was done genuinely, or those people were just people that were chosen, not randomly, to be provided it for certain purposes of agreements of the elites to do it for those individuals. But even if those individuals were given it, were affected by taxes or other issues, those people that were affected were because of certain programs that they were under, gang stalker programs and whatever, chose to mess with them, even though Oprah chose to do good for them, to look good. But some of those they did it to were affected, and so then they get affected for doing it to people they didn't know they shouldn't have done it for in their elite groups. And it's really horrible the way that all of this connection is. But I focus on peace and healing, but I don't ignore the bad that's been allowed. But yeah, I do think that at times they've done good, and there's certain things that they've agreed upon or put their ticket on for candidates for presidency and other politicians that I don't agree with them on. But at one time they were good, and at other times they weren't. And they brought up things that I noticed that others ignored. But yeah, there is a lot going on with that. It's pretty impressive. So here we go. To my first grade teacher, Mrs. Ketter, who taught me great information that I took with me for life. She made me feel important and amazingly capable. To Ms. Merchant, my college business writing professor, who helped me know that I can do anything I put my mind to and supported my writing endeavors. Now, I'm not the best with the writing that I chose to, and she may not agree with the way that I wrote it or put out there, but I put it out with my heart and soul. So even if I didn't write the way that I was told, it was because of the certain issues of government agencies and the foods and stuff messing with my writing abilities that affected me. And that's honest. That's exactly what I noticed was going on. But I was inspired and I wrote from the heart at the time. But now I'm more authentic, and I'm explaining the authentic writings and reasonings behind my book now. So I do thank both of them. They're really great individuals. They taught me some amazing things about reading and awareness, but I was also treated and put down a few times and ignored. And it's not necessarily the teacher's faults or others either. A lot of them were part of this program of control. And some of them were being affected if they were in religions or whatever. They were being affected by those programs that I didn't even know existed. But because of the learnings I learned from them to research and look into things, and from others, it taught me to be aware of everything, to be smart, and to look into research and wordings and education, but to stand up against that education and awareness that is contradictory to the true arts of healing and manifesting reality. So they try to focus on the letter of the law when it's really the spirit of the law that they teach in churches to follow. However, they don't even follow themselves, which they try, but many of them have the benefit of the doubt because they think that they're being inspired, and yet they don't let inspiration be genuine, authentic. Let people express their full feelings, and then they'll be more inspirational. It's really cool and healing and protective. So here we go. And I do believe that there are beings and people protecting me and helping me in all forms of reality. Even if I feel down and get down, I notice I've been lifted up many times. Last, I dedicate this to my current future life. And I see myself living it now. I would say in life now. Thanks to all those who had belief in me, is what I'm altering that to. I believe, be a leaf. I believe in them always and forever. I believe in them. I have belief, or I choose belief for all. And for any evil individuals out there, evil individuals affecting people right now that are listening to this, thus far, no further. Thus far, no further. Thus far, no further. Through the grace of I Am's will. I Am frees all. I am that I am. We all are healed. Okay, here we go. So, contents. So again, I'm going to read this and then note to the reader. And then after that, I'm going to do a new recording starting with introduction on page 1. So the contents is introduction is 1, chapter introduction 15, alien agenda explained, combined many motivational topics for solving life's most dreams and others everywhere and forever, while also explaining both supernatural and spiritual topics that solve all life and spiritual questions. So book overview 19, chapter 1, my experience and beyond, page 29. I wonder if any of these is really what it says, because I know I had it edited by someone. I'm just verifying it. Yeah, chapter 1 is 29. My experiences and beyond. Chapter 2 is 36. My alien experiences explained and recorded from September 28th, 2015 to present date, which is the last day I finished writing this book fully. Yeah, it's really impressive that I actually recorded and then chose to write a book about all of it. Like, honestly, I'm impressed that I even did that. Oh, yeah, so 36. Yeah, so 36 is chapter 2. Then chapter 3 is page 44. My 8-hour, 44 minutes, and 5 seconds sleep recording possible abduction explained. Oh, I don't even know if I have that anymore. I know that I had an old phone, and I was being corrupted and messed with by individuals and stuff. But even if I don't have that anymore, I'll speak what I heard and how it felt. I still remember it too. Like, I have a photographic memory, like a selective, but it's becoming more photographic or more feeling and hearing. So it's more than photographic. It's like hearing, feeling, and photo memory or video memory. It's very interesting. It's like, and we all have it deep within us, and the more we break those blocks, the more we can have a more photographic ability of focus and awareness and memory, and it heals us. They try to block that in the project, but when you free yourself from them and ask to not comply, they're supposed to shut that down and let you remember everything. That's what I noticed anyway. They're supposed to do that legally, and if they don't, then they're messing with their own programs, and that means it will be 10 times worse for them because they're breaking their own rules. Even though they don't really follow rules in the first place, they have some form of rules, and many of their bosses or people, if they knew that that was going on, would really mess with them for it. Alien info, I feel, is important to be explained with alien interactions and experiences expressed and interpreted. Chapter 4 is page 52. Yep. Mind and thought and experiments that have been done is page 95. Yep. Yeah, there's more to it. Some of these I feel have been altered. I think the timeline has altered these pages. So I may have done stuff differently within this timeline I'm in. I've been noticing a lot of Mandela effects and changes that are very subtle. A lot more subtle. It seems like all the timelines are breaking down and merging to become the peaceful timeline. That's what I've noticed. 104. I was promised that that's what was supposed to happen, at least for me. So I'm going to be pushed into the peaceful timeline and have been over and over. And I think it's just a matter of time. No pun intended. So yeah, so chapter 6. Yep. So timeline, energy, understanding Mandela effects, and alien time travel, as well as dimensions, universe, and theories of alien and planet understandings, such as every planet has an inner planet, civilization, possible moons at one time or another. I have different theories about that now, but I do know that there is a lot going on. Different timelines could also be the idea of the flat earth idea, but in this reality that I'm going to, it's not. And we're really not within that. There's more to it than what we've been told. I'm not a flat earther. I'm more of a hollow earther. But until I know either or, until I see it or don't see it enough, where I'm shown what it really is for a fact, I can't agree one way or another. I'm aware more of the hollow earth idea, possibly more. Makes more sense to me. At the same time, I don't know, because they do a lot of weird NASA videos that show that they've altered it to make and faked it, and possible fake moon landing and other stuff, but they were on the... There's so many weird things going on, I don't know. We're all noticing that what we're seeing is all Project Bluebeam, and they have new names for it now. Like a fake moon and fake stars and no stars. And it's our higher vibration awareness that helps us, but everybody judges why you can or can't see it. It's more than what people tell you. So I'm really open to hear people's transitions. You can call me and we can try to do a recorded line, and then I can put a video out for you if you want to do that. You can reach out to me on durbidsamuel@gmail.com. But if people want support, I'm there for support as a minister to help heal and things too. Anyway, so chapter 7 is page 114. This is really cool. Yeah, so 114 is really interesting. Adds up to 13 if you add all those numbers, or 4, which is very interesting. Anyway, chapter 7, 114 is the page, religious beliefs and how they fit with aliens and connections with our dreams through faith and belief to help us recognize our full physical, spiritual, and give us hope and answers for reasons for being. Okay. I have different thoughts on that, by the way, than what I wrote in the book. Because at the time I was Mormon. I believed in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints at the time, but I don't anymore because of what I realized that they're part of the control. I kind of saw hints of that in my research and awareness when I first had my experience, and I did try to reach out to bishops and others about it, and they all pushed it away saying it's dark. And then I realized that the courts are going to say that. They don't know they're being controlled. And the ones that do, they're pushing me away so that the information isn't being listened or helped, because they want abuse to continue. And they allow the abuse by doing that. So chapter 8 is page 131. That also adds up to 13. Wow. It's just interesting, the number of correlations. Okay, so 138 is chapter 9. Let's just confirm that. Yep. Concepts and theories to solve theory problems and ideas that help find a solution to all problems that are not known, and if known, how to connect them together without breaking one's belief, but to expand one's understanding of all things. Now, many of you realize that I was trying to, I mentioned a while back that I was going to do it 40 minutes for one area. I decided to do longer, so I'm going to try to keep this under 2 hours. But here we go. So page 138, yeah, so concepts and theories to solve theory problems and ideas that help find a solution to all problems that are not known, and if known, how to connect them together without breaking one's belief, but to expand one's understanding of all things. Do you know what? I was afraid of knowing truth, and so why I said without breaking my belief or others' beliefs, because I don't want people to believe something they don't want to believe in, but I also don't want them to feel like they can't have belief in their beliefs. So I don't want people to struggle, because I was struggling and they said, don't question, don't let it affect you. That's the devil, blah, 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 blah. All these things trying to affect you. And that's part of the game stalker program. Anybody that tells you that could be a game stalker, and a secret agent connected, or even a sleeper agent, and they don't even know it. If you're getting mad at your pets, or getting mad at others, or you smoke or you drink and you're being affected mentally in any way, not saying that smoking to me is wrong, but because it does affect, and it has rat poison and other stuff in it, but it's also not natural, and it's wrong to me. It does affect the lungs, and it does affect the body systems, but it controls you. It may make some people feel better, and I don't judge others that are choosing to do that, but I hope you get off of it, because it's a controlled system. It's to control your mind. Drinking alcohol can destroy brain cells and stuff, but I think that there is some alcohol that can destroy germs, but it can also destroy good germs too. So be careful, be safe. It helps with colds if you do certain things, drinks, but please, I would look into organic, vegan, and talk to me about it. I've talked to blood doctors and other people. I know a lot of information, more than what I wrote in this book, and I'll bring that up here and there. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's not safe. And I hope you figure it out soon. So breaking my belief was the best thing I ever did. In December 2019, I woke up and chose to do that, and it did tell my family, and it was something I had to be brave and do, and it did affect my life with my family, but my family still cares about me as best as they can. My mom and dad still try to support or help me when I mention, but they do it freely. They do it their choice. I ask for no string attached help. If people are going to help, that's on them, not on me. I appreciate all the help and the appreciation from that. I'm done with the trickery and problems, and I appreciate, no strings attached kindness of healing, true healing, and listening to what really helps me, not what people think will help me. When you give a gift to someone, make sure you know they can have that and eat that. Don't just give it to them thinking that and you're trying to reach out. If you're doing it for your church, make sure you know why or what they really can have, and do it genuinely if you really love them, if you really care about them. And please stop thinking that people are going to hell, because it's not true. If you understand that if the person is a peaceful individual and loving, it actually confirms that you won't. And the ancient text confirms it. And I've been spiritually told, I don't even really believe in a hell. A hell is just someone else's heaven. There are many realms of belief, awarenesses based on what I witnessed, and that's why it's so confusing to everybody in all the different faiths, is because there is more than one realm of heaven and reality of heaven. Because there's many more realms of being beyond any forms of understanding of being. So there you go. Now the next thing I'm going to bring up is chapter 10. And that's on page 161. Wow. Oh, that was up tonight. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so chapter 11 is on page 174, but chapter 10 is why it's important to learn to control one's emotions without emotions controlling you and others around you. Chapter 10 is probably one of my second favorite chapters, and I recommend everybody to start on chapter 10. If you want to understand what my full emotions are about, chapter 10 is amazing. I don't agree with maybe all the stuff in there, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to read it again. But I did like chapter 10, to my knowledge. Anyway, chapter 11 is the law of attraction and how it can help with everything and the answers to how we exist, and ultimately gives us the answers of the universe, how we all are connected through energy connection, belief, and faith, through our spiritual energy connection explained. So chapter 11 is my biggest chapter that I will go into, and it is huge information of stuff, but I will bring up stuff with chapter 11 that I talked about in other chapters, and I will explain my real story. I don't follow the story that I wrote there. I even got rid of certain things in my life that I don't like, and I'm still adapting to that. Because of what I felt it was doing to me. Now, I still have a picture of Christ in the clouds with angels, because that's how I witnessed Christ coming to me. I didn't really see angels necessarily, but there were other beings with him. I could feel them, and other people that were beings and other children-like individuals with me in my experience in 2017. And I was warned, just like other children at that same time were warned, about things that are about to happen and that things are about to change. And I was told by the end of 2019 I'd do something amazing that would help many. And I think 2020 was the next. And I was told my timeline would be between that and time I was 34. But I also know that 2020 is a time frame of change for me as well, that certain technology and information would be brought up. But I'm going to bring up some pretty impressive information. So here we go. So law of attraction, how it can help with everything, and the answers to how we exist, and ultimately give us the answers of the universe and how we all are connected through energy connections, belief, and faith, through our spiritual energy connection explained. So I don't know if I bring up Greg Braden information in this, but I learned about that around this time. I heard about other information of like Gaia people and different individuals I don't follow anymore. Because of what I learned they were stealing from others, and I experienced, and I realized that they might be secret agents messing with us that are religious people, but they have their family messed with too by others. We don't need to mess with anybody messing with others, okay? Stop. I don't want to mess with them, and I don't want them to mess with me. We all have information. We need to be genuine with our information. That's not saying that you're a higher amazing individual above others. We're all equally okay. Just because I had an experience where I saw Christ being came to me, I was suffering cancer and stuff. And I was grateful to see that at Theta Wellness. But it was during a Christ-centered therapy. So that guy and me brought him into it. But then that being was saying they were me and everybody's okay. As long as we love each other and are there for one another, it doesn't matter what religion we're a part of. As long as we focus on peace, that being and many other beings are saying they're going to come soon. And they're going to correct all the crap of our history and the elites and people that have told us things. And that sounds like a wonderful thing to happen. And I hope that it does, and I feel that it will. But the way that we can make it happen is by doing our part as well, by just being honest with who you want to be in life and stop hiding things and let people know of true healing and provide true healing for everybody. So there you go. So law of attraction and how it can help with everything and the answers of how we exist, and ultimately gives the answers of the universe and how we all are connected through energy connection, belief, and faith through our spiritual energy connection explained. So there we go. We can bless things into being. Chapter 13. Hope and overview of my personal feelings and hopes for all. This is awesome. This is 231 is for that, but chapter 12, I'll go to, that's on page 203, so straight to the point. Sum of all chapters and explanation of the chapters to the point of important info explained within. Now I'm going to do a recording for each chapter, so just so you know. So yeah, this right now is just an overview of information before I go into introduction and everything and do those individual chapters that way. Now I might do the introduction with chapter 1. I haven't decided what I'll do with that, but we'll see. So chapter 13, hope and overview of my personal feelings and hope for all, is going to be awesome. So chapter 12 is to the point chapter, and that's 203. And all the pictures of my vision board and things are all in grayscale, but they also explain stuff that I want, that my mom and others read, but it's not really the way that it's going to happen. They think that that's the way I want it to happen, or that I said that it would, and they're like, oh, but you said it. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I did, but I also think differently, and I adapt to the way that it will, and I've seen it change and manifest that way before, when I adapted, even without telling people or letting it be known. So just because you say or print it out on paper that that's how it can happen, it's going to happen better than what you said it or written it as to people. That's how great it is. Some people say don't tell people or it won't come true. That's not true. It still comes true. Thinking that it won't is a manifestation of itself. So I don't comply to those rules, especially when you get out of a religion and things that control you to think that way. It's a very controlled system, and they're trying to do it to get you to pay for their product. 203, or to go by what they feel is important to them, and they want it to be true for them. And if they want it to happen that way for them, then let it happen that way for them. That's great. That's what they feel they need to focus on. I don't hate them for saying that. I just don't agree with it, because it's our thoughts and feelings and emotions that create reality, and we need to not judge a judgment of people's feelings of life for their desire. The more less restrictions we put on a reality of desire, the more it can come true faster and more harmonious. And that's the way that it works. That's what I've learned. It's really cool. Yeah, so 203 is chapter 12. It's cool. That's a good number. Okay, so chapter 13 is on page 231. Ooh. 231. And chapter 13 is really small. So, chapter 13 is the hope and overview of my personal feelings and hopes for all. But basically, it's my questions explained more, my ending statements, chapter 2 all, and whatever you desire and believe, I believe you have achieved. Hope and overview of my personal feelings and hopes for all. Chapter overview. That's basically what that is. So chapter 13 is that. Now, there is one thing that it doesn't bring up, and it's the acknowledgments. And the acknowledgement is something that I'll bring up right now, and I'll talk about it later. But I want to thank all who helped me or gave me insight. Mostly I give credit to the friends and family who put up with me and those who encouraged me to write this, even if they don't agree with everything I felt needed to be written, so that others can know what I saw and experienced. I am about unconditional love and appreciation to all, even if it has to be at a distance. It's better to promote love and belief, and I said and believe, but love and belief for people's dreams and desires of life has already happened. Now. Already done. Now. Then of life than not to. I feel amazing now that my dream has come true. Believe in me as I believe in you. So have belief in me as I have belief in you. Let's put it that way. Thank you all who feel they helped in prayer on this and other insights that are in the book. Everyone that feels they need to be noticed, I and many others do believe in you. We have belief in you, okay? I have belief in you. I encourage you to do your own book or do your own process of creation of your desired dream. I said your dream. Thank you all for your life. As you think becomes as you believe or have belief. As you focus on something with real intent, it becomes created into your reality and reality of others. I believe that the good we all wish for are creations of our dreams. I have belief that the good we all wish for are creations of our dreams are already now happened. They're already done. They're already done. Now. Best hopes and wishes to come true instantly. Samuel Stephen Durbridge. So I added a few things into that information to help you all. And this is a USA product, just so people know. So if you contribute to this, you're contributing to a USA product, a USA company that wants to do a support system and do a support life. Because when you buy my book or do anything to help me in any way by going on my Patreon or doing that and following that Patreon channel, I don't bring it up and I'm not telling you have to do it. I'm letting it be known that whoever chooses to help, please help your needs first in your desired life. That's what matters. Then when you can do more, those that can and care, please do all you can. I'd prefer that my full life, desired life becomes reality, which would be the $8 billion so I can do, or at least 400 million, so that 200 million can go pay for coverage of getting the 400 if gift tax or whatever is required. And then I can take that other 200 million and help give some money to family. But if I get the 8 billion, I'll be able to give more to my family and friends like I want to. And then I'll have enough to invest into companies and land and to be able to do farmland or invest in companies that do or very organic, non-GMO type foods that are fully non-pesticide as best as possible. And then pray for everything, because you can heal anything that's damage or disease or whatever, or pollution or whatever. You can do that through prayer. And I bring that up in the book. So anyway, so there you go. That's that. Now, note to the reader. So I want all to know I'm in the process of finishing a personal journal book. This is that journal book I was talking about. I don't know why it wasn't changed. In between a few weeks and 2 months, I plan on having a finished project on this. And this is basically the finished project that you're hearing now. I'm telling you everything, and I might do a whole new book on this as soon as I have the funds for it, so that I have that copy. But regardless, this is my final info. So I'm so excited, so I'm letting others know there's still a few details I need to figure out. I do plan on starting a possible support group for those that would like to, after the book is read. Those that will be interested, it will be mentioned of topics that are talked about in that book. For the time being, I am getting it ready for publishing. After that, I will finally have something that took me about 2.5 years to finish. And this did take me that long. And it's taken me a little bit longer to finally be the real me. So this is of major importance. It's a motivational book, and it has info both scientific and spiritual connected. This book is explained by my perception and interpretations of science, spiritual and thought and emotional understandings of the law of attraction and other info I researched. I felt inspired to do this from experience I went through these last few years. I do want info that others can handle and feel happy about. At the same time, some of this info is very open-minded and very vulnerable info for me and those that have gone through those things I talk about and have written about. That means I want all who chose to read this book to know that it's my feelings and others that went through things that I wrote this for. This is not to put down anyone. In fact, it's to give info and to build people up, not tear them down or to say what's appropriate or not. It's about standing up for those who are being ignored and secretly shunned. To know I and many others do care unconditionally with every energy of our being, of thought, spiritual belief system we follow. Also scientific knowledge of thought and research and studies that promote the focus on how to help create this type or the type of life reality and beyond that you have been hoping and praying for. To know I believe I have belief in your happiness and feelings you have for your ultimate dream life. Also, this may go over 2 hours for this recording, just so people know, because I got a few more paragraphs to read, and then the golden rule is the only rule. I'll try to keep it under 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I think it's going to be a lot less than that. So this is about doing good to all, no matter what is done to us. So it's about coming together as a people and as all beings should, and to be aware of the idea on what I feel is a good way, if not one of the best ways to do so. Again, it's a book that is to motivate and bring out info that others either fear to or just choose not to follow. That's what I meant to put in there. Either they fear to do it or they choose not to based off of fear or concern or not having the means or the resources to do so. Some people want to and they just can't do it without the resources, so they need help manifesting it. So we should manifest it for each other. Bless it into being. It's scientifically proven and it can be done. The military did it. Many information is out there. It's declassified. Come on. We can do this now. And I think I helped it to become more declassified because I brought it up, and then declassified information was allowed, and the president put it through, and then others were putting it. It's just, it's great. that I did what I needed to do, and it got them to do what needed to be done. I felt I needed to help those that others may not know are needing this insight, so that the unlisted and unheard or concerned and scared can lift up their spirits and know I believe and have belief in them and their needs and feelings of good, even if others choose not to. I care about all of you, and I want you to be safe, and we need to do whatever we can to create our reality. It's very important now more than ever, and I feel great about that. For whatever the reason for doing good and thinking good of you and others' wants and needs, for the upbringing of your life, for happiness through thought, prayer, and them fitting together as one finally, and also mentioning to you to find what works for you also. I believe in you and have faith in your in you, and I have faith in your belief in me. That's what I meant to say there. I said in you, believe in me. Because I have belief that you have belief in me. It's what I hold to for those that want to agree with that. Thank you, and create that reality. Because to me, every being and spiritual and creation of all good things matter to me. Also, it's your choice to read this book. It brings up paranormal and conspiracy concepts and secret workings that might be also due to experiences I went through and others have. So I'm giving you heads up. This book is mostly inspiration and some info that I put in that are based off finding solutions to handle the weird and the strange experiences. What I found out personally was amazingly interesting, and for some may come off scary and fearsome. So I say, do not fear, cheer. Do not be afraid, be brave. And another thing, get your hopes up in everything you love, enjoy, in every moment of your whole being of life. Follow joy, peace, and love from the heart. And value, love. I want to thank all who helped me, to all who gave me insight. And that's anybody I don't know who's given me insight. It has been secretly helping me in all realms and all realities. I bless you and I thank you, and bless me more so I can bless others. I really appreciate it. Mostly I give credit to the friends and family who put up with me and those who encouraged me to write this. Even if they don't agree with everything I felt, it needed to be written and done so that others can know what I noticed and experienced. I am about unconditional love, unconditional value, heart healing, and appreciation to all. Even if it has to be at a distance, it's better to promote, value, heart healing, love, and believe in people. And I said promote love and believe for people's dreams of life than not to. But I would say value, heart, vibrational power, joy, peace, bliss for people's desired realities. Already done, now. I feel amazing now that my desired life has become true now instantly. So believe in me as I personally believe in you. So have belief in me as I have belief in you, because I do have belief in your desired life, as long as it's harmonious for all of us and healing for all. And for you first, for your needs, and following your life path, and that's fine. I want you to have that because it makes you happy and it wakes you up more. And I want the same for me. That's how I woke up. Thank you all who feel they helped in prayer on this and other insights that are in the book. Everyone that feels they need to be noticed, I say, I and many do believe in you, and I encourage you to do your own book or do your own process of creation of your dream. I believe in you, believe in me too. So I have belief in you, I believe in me. Thank you all for your time, and I will give you update when the book comes out. Again, as you think it becomes, as you have belief, you do achieve. As you focus on something with real intent, it becomes created into your reality, another reality of life. This info is just a piece of my info in my book. So just so you know, I believe in you and all beings in the good we all wish to be for our creation of our dreams. Best hopes and wishes to come true instantly, Samuel C. I had friends that gave up on me in 2017, and it was a horrible experience. And they acted like they cared, but they were playing tricks and doing things on me. But they also were there for me and dealt with a lot of my frustrations of my health. I think they were dealing with their own frustrations of family life too. And so I did put a lot of that on them, and I expected things from them that I never should have done or expected them from, because I just wanted to have a focus of that. But it was because I wasn't being authentic. I was afraid what they would think if I left the church. At that time, I still wanted to hold to the church, but I knew the church was flawed, and I knew they were hiding things. And I was told by the higher self that they were, but to forgive them and to love them, but that many of them will be okay, even if they choose to do what they're doing, that they're going to be corrected. And everybody will apologize and feel sorrowful, but that I need to stand up and do what I'm doing. I'm supposed to say things. Even when I was in the church and said in my blessing, I was supposed to tell people what I think, feel, and do in my pinnacle blessing belief. And so regardless whether I have belief in that or not, it was conditional, and I was told it's unconditional. I'm supposed to have it if I want it. It doesn't have to follow under those terms that were being controlled by these systems. And I don't comply to that anymore. But now, because I wanted certain things that they mentioned within those blessings, and now it's true to the fact that I have those skills, and even more so. And I'm getting even more powers and abilities, and the suppressions are coming off more. They've taken suppressions where I've been able to read thoughts of people and be able to utilize things, but I'm now gaining them naturally, or having the synthetic blocks taken off, and the information and abilities are flooding in. It's really cool, but it's happening in a safe pattern so that I can handle it. And if they take it all at once, I'll still be able to handle it because it's supposed to, but it will be a lot. So I'm just ready for whatever is supposed to come, even if I'm not ready for it, because I know that I've dealt with even worse anyway that has been affected by me and others, and I'm doing what I can to do what's right. And I feel a lot more safer and secure to handle it more than I did before. But I do know that things are manifesting and providing what I want is happening. And I don't just say that now, I'm seeing it. And it's because of a certain choice that I've just chosen to do. And now I've been feeling inspired that I needed to finally write information or tell information on my book about this. So that's what I've done. So there you go. So on page 1 of the book, the actual page 1, not the introduction page, whatever. Because the actual awareness pages were not really what I was looking for. So here we go. This is where it gets awesome and impressive. And I just go into a lot of information for the future. Anyway, so all the overviews and introductions, I'll read those as kind of one chapter themselves. Possibly, if I can. And so that goes from page 1 to page 28. And I'm just going to explain all of that. And then we'll go from there. But I just felt I needed to explain a lot of that information. So anyway, there you go. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of things, and then I'll end the recording. But like I said, I was trying to keep it under 2 hours and 30 minutes here. But I felt I needed to explain all this information and let it be known. So the golden rule is the only rule, is by Rodney B. Romney. I got this in an ethical teaching class when I think I got this when I was doing that for ethics, about law and ethics, or about ethics class. I also took a law and ethics class in college, but I also took an ethics class in with DI, so I had those credentials, but they never gave me the, or maybe they did give me it. I don't think I got the receipt of it, but I do require it or wanted it. But anyway, the ethics talk about, what is right, what is wrong, and, is it true, all of those things. But I realized that a lot of the law and ethics they're actually making things ethical when they're unethical, because they have gray areas. And it's gotten really sad, but it's correcting itself, I've noticed too. Things are happening a lot more peaceful, and we're able to correct things now the more we speak out. So the golden rule is the only rule. So by Rodney B. Romney. This is about all the different religions and the things I realized and connected. So the sacred writings of most major religions anticipate a peaceful kingdom, a time when human conflicts will cease and all people will live together in peace. Will evil together in peace? I'm going to say life. Will have life together in peace. This person put some stuff in there just like I did in the past. It should be clear to us now that this peaceful kingdom is not going to come through political strategy, even though they help, or military maneuvers, which have also helped me and others, no matter how intelligent and necessary these may be. So they are important, but they need to change, and then a peaceful kingdom will be where we don't need any of this. The peaceful kingdom is only going to come by personal encounters on a one-to-one basis. As people step across the boundaries of racial identities, culture distinctions, historical animosities, and gender and sexual differences, and become friends with each other. In a world where perimeters shrink daily and where war has become an outmoded pastime, we must become one family. It is our greatest imperative. A simple rule guides us in this endeavor. Sometimes called the Golden Rule, it finds expressions in all the world's greatest religions, through expressed in slightly different ways in at least 10 of the major world religions. The basic meaning remains the same. This is where it gets great. So Hinduism, do not to others which if done to thee would cause thee pain. Confucianism, or Confucianism, but it's basically Confucianism. Do not unto others what you would not that they should do unto you. Then Judaism, what is hurtful to yourself, do not do to another. Islam, no one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Isn't that interesting? Buddhism, in 5 ways you should minister to friends and family: by love, generosity, courtesy, benevolence, and be treating them as you treat yourself. See, Buddhism brings it all out. Sikhism, as I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and I apologize. As thou deemest thyself, so deem others. Then shalt thou become partners in heaven. Jainism, in happiness and suffering, in joy and grief, we should regard all creatures as we regard our own self. Again, isn't this all that I've said in my book or mentioned just recently? Zoroastrianism, that nature only is good when it shall not do unto another what is not good for itself. Taoism, regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain, and regard your neighbor's loss as your own loss. But focus on creation, not losing. Okay? Forgive what's been lost, but be respectful of those individuals that lost and provide them a return of what they feel is needed, because they are all connected to you. Everybody matters. Regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain. That's what I focus on. Christianity, whatsoever you would that people do unto you, do you even unto them. In this simple application of the Golden Rule, we have the means to change the course of history and to bring the people of this planet together as one family. So I'm all about faith and belief and all of that. I'm not really part of any religious belief system other than my own ministry of being there for others. I follow more a concept of what they kind of bring up a lot of this in Seventh Heaven show. I really like a lot of the things that are mentioned. I don't agree with the idea of eating meat and things that they bring up in there, but I do promote what I feel is right for health. I will bring this up. And this is a huge power of belief that I stand by. And I think everybody should be aware of this and take this really strongly as an understanding of healing. We are all connected. Everybody's everybody in some form or some way. That's something I noticed. Now, another thing that I'm going to bring up that I've noticed that people ignore or try to hide. And I'm going to talk about it right now. Here it is. We're all one another, okay? We're all connected. We're all each other. There's all sorts of forms of things happening. And everybody deserves to be loved. So the way to do that, Greg Braden, in the CD that I have called Gift of the Blessing, and you can find that on Amazon or whatever. It was back in 2007 they redid it, but it was done back in 2003 or when he brought it up in 2000 period time. He studied the Dead Sea Scrolls and other things. He's been world renowned. He's been to other places. He's been friends with Deepak Chopra. He's been all over the place. But he does work with secret projects, I've noticed, possibly, or he knows things about them. I also think he's also brought up some really good information. I agree with a lot of the things that he does is good, as long as he stays with the good things he's brought up. He's mentioned a ton that I've been aware of, but he knows it. And I think we can do a lot better than what he's promoted. And if I ever met him, I'd want to meditate with him and 3 others. I would. And create reality in the way that I know we can. And focus in my mind, thought, of belief. I would love to do it with those individuals that know. And stop saying that it can't and know that it can. I think if he had the time and he did the time with me and those others that he's worked with, Deepak Chopra, me, and Greg Braden, and Tibetan people that he saw heal, or others that do it, and Bruce Lipton, if we all did it and they followed my idea, we all did it together, oh my word, they would be like, wow, you're so cool, Sam, because they would know that it can be done in my pattern of belief. I know that it can be done, and I would love to do it with anybody. But you better do it soon with me, because I may not have the time as much to do it as I would want to once I have the life, because I'll be just as busy as they are or others. But I would love to do it with people, and the first come first service is important. It's free, and I would still want to do it with you, but I will be following my life, but I'd still be manifesting to help for your peaceful life. I want that peaceful world. I'm not all about just my life. I want your life to be peaceful too. And I know what we can do. And once those beings come, then we're all going to be fine, is how I look at it. But until then, even if they don't come for whatever reason, because again, I question everything, but I still hold that I hope that that is something I would want, because then we don't have to have the harm anymore. We can finally know what we're all meant to do in the way that we all want and can handle it in. And that's what's great about it. They do it in the way we can handle it in and are willing to do it in and provide us the comfort so that we can do it and then learn the way to really do it. But I figured out a real big way to do it. And so Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton brought up the idea of focus on a moment where time stops and you feel like you can do everything. And so when you focus that time has stopped and you have this belief in love or value, heart, bliss, joy, peace, power, feeling, where you remember a time where someone hugged you, you had a fun time with them, you could do it all day and forever. Just remember that feeling, that moment, that happiness, and how wonderful that time and that moment and that day was, or that moment of time that you could be within all the time. Feel that. Remember it. See it in your mind as best as you can, or feel it in your heart. Remember them hugging you, being there for you. Unconditional. That is how you feel. That is what Bruce Lipton mentioned you should feel. And they have in studies, Silicon Valley and others in water studies confirm it. Your thoughts and your feelings create reality and help promote a better outcome. And because of water and vibration and everything, focus on that feeling and know that peaceful feeling. Become authentic. Be honest and truthful. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid, forgive that fear and know that you're okay. And I forgive, and I have a lot of love and forgiveness to you. A lot of loving healing for you. Just know that you're okay. Now, basically what you can do now is you can take that energy in your heart and feeling. It's your mind, your heart, and your gut, your emotions is one. And then a man and a woman come together as equals, and they can create reality. That's what a lot of the ancient texts say, or what Greg Braden brought up text, but St. Thomas teachings and things. What I have learned and researched about all of this, and people reached out to me about words or spells and all this info, I focus on the positive vibrations of all the things I say, even if I accidentally say wrong vibrational words. I focus on healing, and I focus on the idea of the positive and heal any negative. I focus on it with my heart. And what we're supposed to do is 3 areas. So you bless the area of life, of reality that already has been and is, or that you see as is, current circumstance. That current circumstance, you take what the law of attraction movie The Secret mentions. Rhonda Brines or Burns, she's amazing. I love the fact that she did that. That helped me the most. That's what got me in this direction in the first place, is because of her. I appreciate her. for that. And then all these other individuals, it confirmed it. But she was the start of it, and I really appreciate her. But it was because of others that helped her help us. And so I appreciate her realizing it and then teaching us through the movie, the documentary, The Secret, and then all these other things going on to these energy science throughout the world where we can all heal. Even if you're a child or whatever, everybody can bless things into being. Doesn't matter what belief system you are. So the next step that you do is you then focus on the circumstance of what it is and bless for what it has been. Bless the pain, bless anything you feel needs to be blessed, and bless it away. It's blessed, it's healed without judgment. Do not judge it. Don't judge the cancer, don't judge the issue. You don't need to. And if you did, forgive yourself. It's fine. Let's bless that away. Now, bless the circumstance. And feel that feeling of the love and that child hugging you, or that feeling and that moment and that pet or whatever, or that day, that feeling that healed you. Do it from your heart, your gut, your mind, your feelings. Connect all those energies as one. Those vibrations, those feelings, those knowledge, all as one. And then bless from what it's been without judgment to what it now shall be. For it now already is done. Already is done. Already is done. Used to be already happened, but it's now already done, already done, already done. And now, what's the next thing that you focus on? What's the next thing that you hope for, that you wish to have, that you desire to be real, that you want to be real? What's the next thing you hope will happen, that you know can happen? Bless it into being. And you do this with meditation with 3 or more people, they say. You can do this with yourself as well, and it will help your neighbors and people around you. It's fine. It's a very powerful thing, and it will still help the world if anybody's in the same vibration of need and focus. And it will help them. The next thing you do is you focus and you say, I bless the reality that has already been to now that it is, to what I require and what is now existence. So your financial wealth, your health, your happiness, your peace, your financial freedom, your wealth and abundance, freedom for all life and beyond, all lifetimes and beyond, all realms of being, whatever is and shall be and has been. It's all blessed and healed without judgment. Now you bless the second area, which is the people who cause the circumstance of what it is without judgment, and bless them to have the same of what you blessed yourself. What has been for the time and the things that have caused to get you to the realization of what you know is needed and required now, and blessing for them and their family and their life and their being and their future, because they're you and you're them, connected in some form or some way. The ancient texts confirm this. Even bless the third area as well, same thing, without judgment and love, and bless it from your heart, and you focus down deep and you bless it, and you bless the witnesses who witness the experiences or have perceptions or thoughts and feelings without judgment of what they saw and what they felt or interpreted. And bless them and forgive and love and heal and all of that, and bless them to have the same. And bless yourself as a witness, because you're a witness. Now, all those that cause these issues and all the situations and focuses were all you. Those circumstances and the circumstances that made those circumstances were all you connected. And if you cause yourself to cause the things done to you and the pain done to you, even though others did it, you reacted and it reacts and helped it. And it's okay. Bless it away. It's blessed. It's healed. All 3 areas are not just other people. It's you. You caused all those 3 areas. And so you're blessed in all 3 areas without judgment. You're healed now. You're not judging the cancer, the illnesses, or the problems. You're blessing them to be what they have been into turning what they now shall be, and you're now healed. You can feel the healing now. Anything I say and speak with my heart and soul, I'm speaking with vibrations of healing, okay? I'm doing this from my heart and authentic love. So you're being healed right now. Everything I've said, even if it came across negative, wasn't meant to. It was positive and healing. So now you're healed. Even if you don't feel it, you now feel it. And you shall feel it, even if you tell people you don't. You know it's there. It's in your heart. Your higher self is going to jump and say, listen to this. This is awesome. This individual of you loves you, cares, values you, heart, blissful, peaceful. And now you're healed. I bless, I bless, I bless. If you're crying right now, you have the ability to now create things into being. If you're crying in love and healing, you now have the power to heal. Now that we've done that, you've healed from your inner self. Tell yourself, I bless, I bless, I bless, I bless, I bless. I would give my life up to anybody. Now, I went over the 2 hours and 31 minutes. I'll go to 2 hours and 40 minutes because I'm about to bring something that is so heartfelt. I would give my life up for anybody. I actually saved people or chose to do stuff to try to help people during a fire that was on a mountain near me. It was a huge amount of smoke that came down. It was very dangerous. I even filmed it on Facebook to warn people and let people know to pray to stop it. And when they did, 10 minutes later, the winds changed. Boom, winds. The winds love me. I care about the winds. Winds have been on my side. I've always talked to the winds and been friends with the winds. They've been there for me even when they've been controlled by other beings or technologies, controls. I've noticed this, and I'm friends with the wind. The wind hears me and knows me and loves me and has directed beings to me in the future, past, and present. I've seen it many times happen, and I thank them for it. We are now in that life, following that path and teaching it and preaching it and letting people know it. And that's what I'm doing as a minister. I'm there to help and be there and create reality with you for those that want that. So know that that's why I wrote my book, to originate, but now I have more belief in it more than ever. I'm also going to bless another idea, focus, is the thought of when you cry and you feel, I would actually give my life to another person. That's how impressive and heartfelt I am. I'm going to tell a story about the 3 trees. It's a Christ story. So I was taught this in the church, but I look at this in a different way now. And I love it because it's a better way of looking at it. And it doesn't mean that I believe that Christ is a God, creator, or anything. He's my friend. Or whoever the being that came as Christ was my friend. I don't know who or what the being is, but they're me and I'm them possibly. So I hold to that and I appreciate wherever that came from. So I do appreciate the Christ because it helped a lot of healing and anxiety to come out of me. So I do when I went to Theta Wellness in Santa Utah. So I do appreciate that. So I'm going to bring up a story that is very heartfelt that I know is going to really be important for people to hear. And it's going to make your heart jump for many that care about this. Those that don't, it's okay. You don't have to have this. I don't do this to hurt. For those that are not part of religions and are hurt by it and don't know what to believe, it's fine. I'm more agnostic, but energy science healer type individual. So here we go. Christ teaching of the 3 trees. So the 3 trees There was 3 trees. I don't know who wrote this story. I have no idea. So I'm just telling you my version of it. There are 3 trees that happened. The 3 trees were talking, and they were talking about their future, their ideas of what they're going to be. And one tree said, you know what? I'm going to grow so tall. I'm going to be, when I get made into something, so being cut down or created into something, I'm going to be an amazing throne. I'm going to be an awesome throne for everybody. I'm going to be an awesome throne for a being that is, for a king. I'm going to be a throne for a king that's going to be so amazing for this king. And this king is going to be amazing and powerful and helping everybody. But it's going to be, I'm going to be so respected because I'll be a throne for a king that will be remembered forever. That's what they thought. And the second tree said, well, I'm going to be a huge boat. I'm going to be a boat for a king, or for that's going to be remembered for eons and ever. I'm going to be able to help and do so many, and I'll be able to handle winds and everything. I'm going to be awesome, and I'm going to be the best. I'm going to go to many lands, many places, and be revered and loved for it by those that float with me. And no winds are going to be able to hurt me or tear me apart. There's not going to be anything that can stop me and or anything. It's going to be amazing. The third tree told them and everybody, the other trees, that it was going to be a tree that rises above everything. It's going to be above everything, everybody, and it's going to raise everybody to look towards the heavens. So look towards the Creator that created everything. That it's going to be a beacon and some kind of form of marker that is going to be a pillar that points to heaven, or points to glory to the Creator and creation of all. And it's going to be revered, it's going to be loved, it's going to be appreciated. And they all felt that they're going to be appreciated, and they're all going to get their dream desired come true. That they believe in their dreams, they believe in who they are and what they want to be. So the first tree was told by the carver that carved him into something and said, you're going to be awesome. You're going to be whatever you're going to be. You're going to be special. And it carved and made it, and it turned him into a hay holder. A hay holder. Or whatever you want to call it. And some of its wood was for other things, but most of it was used for a hay holder. That's what it was used for. And then other things, and it's like, what in the world am I? I was supposed to be a throne for a king. I was supposed to be a throne for a king. So, this might go over 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm going to go to by 3 hours at the least, or at the most. The hay holder was supposed to be impressive. It was supposed to be powerful. It was supposed to be a throne, not a hay holder. But it turned into a hay holder. And it says, I'm not special. I'm not special. I was supposed to be special. I was supposed to be an amazing throne for a king. But what am I? I'm just this hay holder. And a bunch of animals are biting in the hay and eating from it and bumping into me. How am I supposed to be loved and revered like I was supposed to? I was supposed to be for a king to sit on, to be looked at as a throne for a king. That's what I was meant to be part of. But instead, I'm just this hay holder. Then one day, a man and a woman came by, and she was on a donkey, according to the stories. We'll just say that that's what it was in this, regardless what the real story realization was. But it was still the same understanding. What was really cool and what was really amazing was this situation of this individual. It was a hay holder noticing this man and woman came, and they were looking for somewhere to lay. She was pregnant and needed to lay down and have her baby somewhere. The baby happened to be who we all know as Jesus Christ. Well, in this cave manger place, they went in there, they were allowed, and this baby was born and laid on this trough. And this hay holder says, what in the world? I was supposed to be a holder for a king, and now I got this baby laying in me. Now it's probably going to poop and all sorts of stuff in me. Of course, I already deal with that because of all the animals around, but I'm not special. Then the baby touched the wood and loved it, and it felt its power from the baby. The peaceful, caring awareness of the baby, the knowledge. The wood realized who the baby was, what the baby was. A being that was going to be worshipped and cared for and would teach peace teachings amongst other ancient masters that have, like Buddha and others. This baby was better than a king. It was a peacemaker. The hay holder felt special and realized who this baby was. And instead of feeling down about itself, it felt power and love about itself. It felt, I'm special. I am special. I got to be there for who is known as the Son of God, or the creator of all Son, creation, connection, unascended master. However you want to look at it. It was powerful and it was heartfelt. And they finally knew that they were special. Later on, as the child grew, one of the other trees got cut down. The second tree. The tree that said it was going to be a boat, a fishing boat and everything. And it was turned into different boats, a couple of boats possibly, fishing boats. This boat or boats was told and talked about as and revered as a powerful creation of healing. These boats, was when the carver was making it, said, you're going to be made into an amazing boat. You're special. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be an amazing boat. You're going to be used for amazing things. And the wood carver turned it into many different boats. And it thought it was going to be a huge boat for a king. And instead, it's a fisherman's boat. And not even powerful enough to handle all the winds all the time. If a huge storm happened, it was just a fishing boat. And it wasn't a very strong or made, or it didn't feel strong. It didn't feel like a king's boat or a king's war ship or protector or whatever. It was a very unstructured little dinghy. That's how it felt. And then one day, it felt that it wasn't special. It said, what am I? I'm not special. I'm not special at all. I'm just a dinghy for men to sit on and fart and catch gross fish or fish that would and cut and have its blood and other things soak into me. That's horrible. And then a fisherman that were on this boat were called by a man that seemed powerful. Now this boat noticed many experiences. These boats, or one boat, whatever it was, noticed these experiences and were amazing. This man was peaceful and powerful, but they didn't know who it was. But one of the boats realized, the one that felt that it wouldn't handle the winds or anything and says, I'm not special. There's this huge storm that's happening. What am I supposed to do? And then this powerful individual was waking up. It says, I'm going to be destroyed. This storm is bad. I'm not special. What am I supposed to do? I can't handle this. This is too much. What do I do? Can't do anything. I'm going to be destroyed with all the people on it. And then the man, hearing the thoughts of the boat, told it, don't worry, boat, I'll protect you, stood up and told the winds and storm to cease. At that moment, the boat knew who was on its boat and knew that he was better than a king that was using him. That even though he was just a dinghy, a fisherman's boat, that as long as that man was around, it would be fine and be remembered as a boat that held the powerful Creator, Ascended Master. So it finally felt loved, and it went to different lands like it wanted to, where it was able to preach healing and do amazing miracles to heal people and to teach of healing, the power of healing, the same healing I learned. And it's just powerful. And then what happened next was the boat saw the man walk on water to it and bring people back to the boat on there, walked back to the boat, and then went back to the shore, saw the resurrected form of that being coming, or a higher ascended form of it come and be near it. Saw many experiences of that being. And it was happy. It knew that it was special finally. It says, I am special. And I thought I wasn't, but I am. I am. I am all that I've hoped I would be and more. I will be remembered. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, the third tree was cut down. Around the same time of the other boat seeing the experiences happen. But before the resurrected form of him came, this tree was cut and it was being made, and it thought it would be a beacon. It thought it would be a beacon for a king or for a kingdom to reach the heavens, to show the heavens. A sign or a symbol of faith and love and healing. To promote the creation of all, to point towards the heavens for people to look up at and remember and use as a powerful healing object of awareness. Well, this tree wasn't told it was special when it was created. In fact, the wood carver was crying as it carved it and made it and cut it into two separate long sticks and connected it. A lot of it was connected later, but the two separate. And then one little piece of wood for a marking talking about a king of the Jews. This is where it got horrible and evil and sad and disappointing. The woodcarver cried and said, I feel bad, but you're being used for a very horrible purpose. And I'm sorry. I hoped you would be special, like I'm sure you want to be. So this thing that felt that it would point to the heavens felt that it wouldn't be special because it was told it wouldn't be. It wasn't sure what it was going to be. And then it realized later that a man was holding one half of it and the other was somewhere else. And it noticed other trees next to, or other trees that were friends of it were made into these things too. But this tree was put in the middle, or said to have been put in the middle, or in pictures have shown, however, where it was, and put on a hill to hang people from, to crucify. This being said, I'm not special. I was supposed to be special. I knew I was told I wasn't supposed to be special, but I wanted to be special. What am I? This is horrible. And this creature, or this tree was held up, and it had Christ on him. And some of the tree even had thorns that grew around that tree, and those thorns were picked and turned into a crown. So this tree remembered these thorns, remembered things around it, and it was all used and connected, and it was part of it, and then the plaque was on it too. And it said, I was supposed to be a beacon of good. And then it heard discussions of this person forgiving the individuals next to him and telling one of them that they would be with him in paradise for recognizing who that person was. And what was really great was this tree, or this crucified thing, knew and saw amazing things within 3 days of this death, and saw him and felt his pain, but it was loved and appreciated and thanked it for holding it up safely and for letting him bleed upon it and apologize to it. This cross connection and black and things tree knew what it was and what it was for, and thanked this being for being that, and loved him for this, and realized that it was an important purpose, but knew that it didn't have to happen, but it was chosen to. And loved it. All three of these trees were special. Even though they first thought they would be special, they ended up being special. Just not in the way that they imagined it in. It was better, but also sadder for some of the cases of it. For the last one. But it was also a memory and a cross representation that people wear to remember that man who died upon one. And so it's used as a religious symbol now in many religions and organizations to remember the being in this individual of power that healed all. People forget this individual and forget who he was and what he died for and what he chose to die for. And he became a powerful being of healing because he chose to. And he died and became a very impressive mark of healing and creation. And it was respected in this way. And ascension happened. So I'm going to tell you right now that this is awesome because that's what I'm about, is the healing ideas that he taught and that many others have. I explained it in this long recording, and I explained it in the Golden Rule is the Only Rule explanation of all the religion healing. Those of you that listen to all of this, this is just the beginning. And so yes, I did this for 3 hours because I felt it needed to be told. These are blessings into being. And for those of you that are crying out from this information I spoke from my heart, every tree and animals and everything can hear our thoughts and feelings. I've tested it out many times. Some don't listen and pay attention, but if you speak it out loud and say it in your heart and mind, all three, it creates them to hear it. And I've done it many times and proven it and shown it to people around me, and some of them may not even think or remember it. And that's fine. But I do know that I noticed it, and they noticed it too, or shown it, but many ignore it, and that's okay. I want people to reach out to me if they can. Again, you can email me at durbidsamuel@gmail.com. And Durbid Samuel is D as in David, E-R, B as in boy, I as in ice, D as in David, G as in girl, E as in Edward. Samuel is S as in Sam, A as in apple, M as in Mary, U as in umbrella, E as in Edward, L as in Larry. Durbid Samuel at Gmail, G as in George, .com. So gmail.com. And then you can also call me, 801-499-4494. You can text me, but if I don't know you or if I don't know your number, you may want to text or email me so I can talk to you. I do record things, and I keep things on record as best as I can if I feel I need to. If I notice that it's dangerous, I do have those that have protected me and are there protecting me, so I'm not concerned. But I'm doing what I can to do what's right. I also recommend to talk to your water and things. Use Himalaya salt and Celtic salt in your hallways to protect you with energy and healing and against bugs and things that want to harm and infest. And love and bless everything. Forgive everything and yourself and me and anyone with all your heart. Be authentic, be honest and true, and stand up and tell your truth. I'm going to be doing some more recordings for the book. Like I said, they're going to be shorter than this recording is. But I wanted to bless you all and thank you. But you can reach out to me, and I'm a minister of the ulc.org. And I recommend you can reach me on Twitter at Durbid Samuel. And you can also reach me at Samuel Stephen Durbids and My Alien Perceptions of Possible Truth page on Facebook. And my channel Samuel Loomis, Newly Awakened, is for why I left the church that I was a part of. Anyway, I bless you all. Reach out to me. Your desired life is already done. Already done. Already done. Now, now, now. I bless you for those that want to be blessed. Accept it. You're now healed. You're now provided. Reach out to me. We can do 3 or more people praying and blessing for each other creates reality. Bless you all.